I checked into the hotel because it was close to the highway and cheap for the night. I didn't plan to stay long, just sleep, shower, and leave before sunrise. The lobby was empty when I arrived, quiet in a way that felt practiced. The clerk didn't make conversation. He handed me the key card and told me my room number without looking up. The room was on the 3rd floor at the very end of the hallway. The carpet muffled my footsteps and the lights buzzed faintly overhead. Everything looked clean enough. Nothing felt wrong. I unlocked the door, stepped inside, and locked it behind me. That was when the phone rang. The room phone, mounted beside the bed, vibrated softly as it rang once. I stared at it for a moment, then picked it up. No one spoke. I waited, listening to the faint static, then hung up. I assumed it was a mistake, maybe a wake-up call. Entered wrong. I tossed my bag onto the chair and sat on the edge of the bed. The phone rang again. This time, I didn't answer. I watched it stop on its own. 10 minutes later, it rang a 3rd time. I finally picked it up again. I said hello, quietly. There was breathing on the other end, slow and steady, like someone standing very close to the receiver. I hung up immediately. My heart was racing now, but I told myself it was just another guest dialing the wrong room. I unplugged the phone from the wall. When I turned around, the bedside lamp was on. I was certain I hadn't turned it on. I stood there for a few seconds, then turned it off and went to the bathroom to wash my face. When I came back, the phone was ringing again, still unplugged. I grabbed my bag and opened the door. The hallway phone at the end of the corridor began ringing at the same time, then another, one further down, one by one. Phones along the hallway started ringing in sequence, moving closer to my room. I backed inside and shut the door. The room phone stopped. I didn't sleep that night. Around 3 a.m., the phone rang once more. I picked it up without thinking. This time a voice spoke. "You didn't check out," it said. In the morning, the front desk told me that room hadn't had a working phone in years. I noticed the floor number because the elevator paused longer than usual. The digital display flickered between numbers before settling on something I didn't recognize. The doors opened anyway. The hallway looked like the others. Same carpet, same lighting, same framed prints on the wall, but there were no room numbers, just doors evenly spaced, all closed. I assumed the elevator had malfunctioned. I stepped back inside and pressed the lobby button. The doors didn't close. Instead, the elevator chimed softly and the doors slid shut on their own. It began moving again. When it stopped, the display showed my floor number. The doors opened to the correct hallway. I stood there for a moment, confused but relieved, then walked to my room. Later that night, curiosity got the better of me. I returned to the elevator and pressed the same button again. The same pause, the same flicker. The doors opened to the same unnumbered floor. This time, one of the doors was open. Light spilled out onto the carpet. I stood at the elevator threshold, telling myself I wouldn't step out. Then I noticed something moving inside the room, not walking, swaying, like someone standing very still and breathing. I cleared my throat. The movement stopped. The door across the hall creaked open slightly, then another, then another. I realized they weren't opening randomly. They were opening toward me. I stepped back into the elevator. Before the doors closed, I heard someone speak from the open room. "You're early." The elevator dropped faster than normal, jolting slightly before stopping. When I checked the directory in the lobby, there was no record of that floor. When I tried again the next morning, the elevator skipped it entirely. But the carpet fibers on my shoes didn't match any floor in the building. I stayed at the hotel for 3 nights because work kept getting delayed. Every night, I saw the same 2 staff members working the night shift, one behind the desk, one standing near the elevators. They never spoke unless spoken to. They never moved unless necessary. On the second night, I realized something strange. They hadn't changed clothes. Same uniforms, same posture, same expressions. I tested it. I asked the desk clerk what time it was. He answered without blinking. I thanked him and walked away. When I came back 10 minutes later, he was standing in the exact same position. His hands hadn't shifted. The elevator attendant was the same. On the third night, the lobby was empty. No staff, no sound. The lights were dimmed lower than before. I stood there waiting until the desk clerk slowly rose up from behind the counter. Not stood up. He rose upward instead. His feet never moved. He looked at me and said, "You're not scheduled to be awake." The elevator attendant appeared beside me without footsteps. His face was blank, eyes fixed forward. I backed toward the doors. The clerk tilted his head slightly. "Rooms are safer," he said. I didn't stay to argue. I returned to my room and locked the door. Around 4 a.m., I heard footsteps outside. They stopped directly in front of my door. No knocking, no voices, just waiting. In the morning, the day staff told me there was no night shift anymore. The hotel had automated everything months ago. When I checked out, the clerk asked how I slept. I didn't answer.